The grid that is achieved after the alignment is almost similar to the graph that we have studied previously, that is Manhattan tourist graph. So in the graph that we have achieved after alignment, each entry in the graph looks like the city block as we have seen previously in the Manhattan graph. So the graph that we have achieved after alignment is called the edit graph. So the main difference between the Manhattan graph and the edit graph is that in the edit graph we can use the diagonal positions as well. So we have remembered that in the Manhattan graph we can use only two positions. Either we can move in the eastwards or in the south direction. But in the edit graph we can use eastward, southward, and also in diagonally. So we have studied that after alignment we will get the edit graph, and the property of this edit graph is that we can move in the diagonal position as well. And this edit graph is achieved by introducing a vertex for every intersection of streets in the grid. This graph will help in calculating the edit distance after alignment, path alignment, alignment edge, and one column. So we can see here that we have the same pairwise numeric values for each of the two strings V and W, in which we get the numeric values for both of the or each of the column. So the first column is 0 0. We start from here 0 0, and this is the value 0 0. The next value is 1 1, and we remember that whenever we have the same alphabets or the same numeric value, we will use the diagonal graph, diagonal arrow. We can see here that is AA is the same in the V and W, we will use the diagonal arrow. So similarly for similar T and T, T is V and this T is W, they are similar, so again we will use the diagonal arrow. GG, TT, we can see diagonal arrows. So whenever there is a missing alphabet in the V string, we use the arrow in the east direction, and whenever there is a missing alphabet in the W string, we will use the arrow that will be in the south direction. So by considering these arrows, we will fill in this graph and we will get the path. So we will start from 0 0. The first is 1 1, so it means that both of the alphabets, they are identical, so we will use the diagonal arrow, 1 and 1. The next is 2 and 2, 2 2, so we will again use the diagonal arrow because they are the identical alphabets. Now in this case 2 3, in this case it means that in the V string there is a space and there is no alphabet. So in this case we remember that whenever there is a missing alphabet in the V string, we will move in the east direction. So next is the 3 4. 3 4 is G and G, so they are the same alphabets, so we will move in the diagonal direction. 4 5, T and T in the diagonal direction. This is 4 and this is 5. Again we have a missing alphabet in the W position, so whenever there is a missing, we will move in the south direction. So the 5 5 is the T and missing link, so we will move in the east direction. So similarly next is A and A, that is 6 and 6, so 6 and 6, so we will move in the diagonal direction. Again there is a missing in the W, we will move in the south direction, and there is a missing in the V, and then we will move in the east direction. So by seeing the alignment of the alphabets in the two strings and following the numbers assigned by the matrix of these two strings, we will follow the path and we will reach from 0 0 to 7 and 7. So again we will find the path as we have find the path in the Manhattan problem. So this is again the mathematical representation of the same problem. There are two matrices or two strings V and W. This is the V and W, and we have calculated the numeric values, and we will put and we will reach the same path. So here the point is that when we use the diagonal edges in the path that ends at the vertex ij, this is vertex ij, each of these vertex in the graph, and correspond to the column Vi and Wj. So whenever we have the, for example, we have A and A, so it means that we have V1 and W1. But when we use the horizontal edges, means that we have the edges horizontal, corresponding means that we have the missing in the V. So we will use always the horizontal arrow whenever there is a missing alphabet in the V string. So we will represent as dash and Wj. So in this we have both the numeric values, and here we have a missing link of the alphabet. So whenever we use the vertical arrow, that is the vertical arrow, it means that there is a missing alphabet in the W string, and we will represent it as Vi, and we will write a dash. That means that the W string has the missing alphabet.